Welcome to this audiobook-style summary of the 4-Hour Workweek, a book that reshaped the way we think about work, time, and freedom. Written by entrepreneur and lifestyle designer Tim Ferriss, this book isn't a gimmick about literally working 4 hours a week. It's a blueprint for escaping the rat race, automating income, and creating a life of adventure, purpose, and flexibility. In the next hour, I'll walk you through the key principles, stories, and mindset shifts Tim Ferriss shares. Whether you're stuck in a job you hate, dreaming of launching your own business, or simply seeking more time for what matters, this is for you. Let's dive into the DEAL framework: define, eliminate, automate, and liberate, to unlock your path to freedom. Before we start, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss our weekly audiobook summaries. And let's make this interactive. Drop a comment below. What's one thing you'd do with more time or freedom? Travel to Bali? Start a passion project? I'm curious to hear your dreams. Alright, let's get started with the first step to your new life. Part 1, Define, redefining success and conquering fear. Let's kick things off with the first part of Tim's DEAL framework: define. This is about figuring out what you really want from life, not what society tells you to want. Tim starts with a bold idea: most people don't actually want to be millionaires. What they want is the lifestyle they think only millionaires can afford: time to travel, less stress, more moments with loved ones, and the freedom to chase what excites them. Tim introduces us to the new rich, or NR, a group of people who prioritize experiences over endless work. They don't slog away for decades, saving for a distant retirement. Instead, they design lives where freedom comes first, not someday in their 60s. This is a massive mindset shift, so let's break it down. Rethinking retirement. Tim argues that traditional retirement is a broken model. Why? Because it assumes you'll defer your dreams until the end of your life, when your health, energy, or passion might be gone. Imagine working 40 years, only to find you're too tired to enjoy that dream trip to Italy. Instead, Tim proposes mini-retirements, short, intentional breaks throughout your life for travel, learning, or rest. For example, you might take 3 months to live in Costa Rica, learn surfing, or study a new language. These mini-retirements recharge you and make life feel rich now, not later. Real-world example: take Sarah, a 30-year-old graphic designer I heard about. She was burned out from her corporate job, so she saved for a year, negotiated a sabbatical, and spent 6 months backpacking through Southeast Asia. When she returned, she felt re-energized and started freelancing, choosing projects that excited her. That's the new rich mindset: living life on your terms, not waiting for permission. Fear setting. Your secret weapon. Here's where Tim gets practical. To chase your dreams, you need to tackle fear, and he has a powerful tool called fear setting. Instead of setting goals, you define your fears. Here's how it works. Ask, what's the worst-case scenario if I take this leap? Maybe it's quitting your job to start a business and running out of money. How likely is that outcome? Be honest, total failure is rare. You might struggle for a bit, but you're unlikely to end up homeless. Could you recover if it happened? Could you get another job, cut expenses, or pivot? Almost always, the answer is yes. Let's say you're scared to go freelance. The worst case might be failing to find clients and needing to return to a 9-to-5. That's not the end of the world, you've done it before. Fear setting shrinks your fears by making them specific and manageable. Tim says most risks are reversible, so the real danger is staying stuck in a life you don't love. Personal anecdote: I tried fear setting when I considered starting a side hustle. My fear was wasting time and money on a flop. But when I wrote it out, I realized the worst case was losing a few $100 and some weekends, totally survivable. That clarity gave me the courage to start, and it paid off. Try it yourself this week. Write down one fear holding you back and break it apart. Excitement over comfort. Tim also pushes you to focus on excitement, not just goals. Instead of asking, "What do I want?" ask, what would excite me? Maybe it's teaching yoga on a beach, launching a podcast, or volunteering abroad. Excitement is a better compass than comfort, because comfort often traps us in safe but uninspiring lives. Practical tip: take 10 minutes today to write down 3 things that excite you. Don't censor yourself, dream big. Want to live in Paris for a month? Write it down. This list is your North Star for the rest of the deal framework. Key takeaway: the biggest risk isn't failing, it's living on autopilot, postponing the life you want. Define success as freedom and excitement, and use fear setting to make bold moves. That's define, powerful stuff. Before we move to eliminate, pause and think, what's one dream you've been putting off? Share it in the comments to inspire others. Let's keep going. Part 2, eliminate, productivity through subtraction. Now we move to the second part of deal, eliminate. This is where Tim flips the script on productivity. Most of us think being productive means doing more, cramming our days with tasks, emails, and meetings. Tim says that's backward. True productivity comes from doing less, but better. By eliminating the unimportant, you free up time and energy for what matters. Let's dive into the tools to make this happen. The 80-20 rule, Pareto principle. First up is the 80-20 rule, or Pareto principle, which says 80% of your results come from just 20% of your efforts. The key is identifying those high-impact tasks and ruthlessly cutting the rest. For example, if you're a small business owner, maybe 2 products generate most of your revenue. Focus on those and drop the low performers. If you're an employee, maybe 1 skill, like closing deals, drives your success. Double down on that and delegate the rest. Real-world example: I know a freelancer named Mike who used the 80-20 rule to transform his work. He realized 3 of his 10 clients paid 80% of his income but took only 20% of his time. He politely phased out the low-paying, high-maintenance clients and focused on his top 3, freeing up hours to grow his business and spend with family. Try this: look at your to-do list or income sources. What's the 20% driving most of your results? Prioritize that. Parkinson's Law. Next is Parkinson's Law: work expands to fill the time you give it. If you allocate 8 hours for a task, it'll take 8 hours, even if it could be done in 2. Tim's solution? Set tighter deadlines and limit your work hours intentionally. This forces you to focus on what's essential and cut the fluff. Practical tip: try the 2-hour challenge. Pick a task you'd normally spend a whole day on, like writing a report, and give yourself just 2 hours. You'll be amazed how much you accomplish when the clock's ticking. I did this with a presentation recently, and not only did I finish faster, but the result was sharper because I skipped unnecessary details. Tim's elimination rules. Tim shares specific rules to slash time wasters. Batch emails: don't check email all day, it's a distraction. Set 2 times, like 11 a.m. and 4 p.m., to process emails in bulk. Use an autoresponder to set expectations, like, I check email twice daily and will respond promptly. Skip unnecessary meetings. Before agreeing to a meeting, ask, what's the specific goal? If it's vague or can be handled via email, say no. Tim suggests offering a quick call instead. Say no more often. Every yes to a low-value task is a no to something important, like time with family or your side hustle. Practice polite refusals, like, thanks for the invite, but I'm focusing on a big project right now. Story: a friend of mine, Lisa, used to say yes to every work request, extra projects, late-night emails, you name it. She was exhausted. After reading Tim's book, she started saying no to non-essential tasks and batching her emails. Within a month, she had evenings free for yoga and felt more in control. It's amazing what happens when you protect your time. The low-information diet. Tim also advocates a low-information diet. We're bombarded with news, social media, and gossip, but most of it isn't actionable. Ask yourself, will this information help me achieve my goals? If not, cut it. Skip the 24/7 news cycle, mute distracting group chats, and limit social media to 30 minutes a day. Tim himself avoids news unless it directly impacts his business, and he's happier for it. Practical tip: try a 24-hour information fast. Turn off notifications, avoid news, and see how it feels. I did this once and felt a mental clarity I hadn't experienced in years. It's like decluttering your brain. Key takeaway: time is your most precious asset. Eliminate the 80% of tasks, distractions, and information that don't move the needle, and you'll unlock hours for what truly matters. Eliminate is a game changer. What's one thing you could cut from your schedule this week? Share it in the comments, and let's move to automate, where the magic of passive income begins. Part 3: Automate, Earn Without Working. Welcome to Part 3, Automate. This is where you break the link between your time and your income, creating systems that work for you while you sleep, travel, or pursue your passions. Tim's goal is to help you build a Muse, a simple, scalable business that generates consistent income with minimal effort. Let's walk through the steps to make this a reality. What is a Muse? A Muse isn't a massive corporation or a full-time job. It's a lean, semi-automated business that solves a specific problem for a specific audience. The goal is to create something you build once and sell repeatedly, like a digital product or a niche service. For example, a Muse could be an online course teaching busy moms how to meal prep or a subscription box for eco-friendly pet products. Step 1: Find a profitable niche. The key is specificity. Don't try to serve everyone, focus on a narrow audience with a clear need. Tim suggests brainstorming problems you've solved for yourself or others. Maybe you've figured out how to train a stubborn puppy or organize a chaotic home office. Those are potential niches. Real-world example: I read about a guy named Alex who created a digital planner for students with ADHD. He noticed his sister struggled with organization, so he designed a simple PDF planner tailored to her needs. He sold it online for $15 and made $5,000 in his first year with almost no ongoing work. That's a Muse. Think about your skills or experiences. What problem can you solve? Step 2: Build a product or offer. Your Muse should be low maintenance and scalable. Options include digital products, ebooks, courses, or templates, like Alex's planner. Physical products, a niche item you source and sell, like custom yoga mats. Services, a streamlined service, like resume writing, that you can systematize. The key is to create something once and sell it many times. For example, record a course and sell access forever, rather than coaching one-on-one. Step 3: Validate first. Before investing time or money, test your idea. Tim's approach is to create a simple sales page describing your product and run low-cost ads, like Google or Facebook ads, to see if people click buy. If they do, you know there's demand, and you can build the product. If not, pivot to a new idea. Story: Tim himself tested a supplement business this way. He ran ads for a brain-boosting pill before even manufacturing it. When he got enough pre-orders, he knew it was worth pursuing. This validate first mindset saves you from wasting effort on ideas that won't sell. Try it. Set up a free landing page on a site like Card and test interest in your idea. Step 4: Outsource and delegate. Once your Muse is running, automate as much as possible. Hire virtual assistants, VAs, for repetitive tasks like customer support, email management, or social media. Platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, or onlinejobs.ph make this easy. Tim shares scripts for hiring VAs, like asking candidates to complete a small test task to prove their skills. Practical tip: start small, hire a VA for one task, like scheduling, for $5 to $10 an hour. I tried this for email management, and it saved me hours a week. Tim also suggests tools like Zapier to automate workflows, like syncing orders to a spreadsheet. Ask yourself, what tasks eat up my time that someone else could handle? The big question. Tim challenges you to think bigger. What would you do if you could never work more than 4 hours a week? What systems would you need? Maybe it's a dropshipping store, a course, or a blog monetized with affiliate links. The goal is to create income that doesn't rely on your constant input. Real-world example, I know a woman, Jenna, who started a blog about minimalist parenting. She wrote 20 evergreen posts, added affiliate links to baby products, and hired a VA to manage comments. Now, she earns $2,000 a month working just a few hours a week. That's the power of a muse. Key takeaway: stop trading time for money. Build a muse, validate it, and automate it so your income flows whether you're working or sipping coffee in Paris. Automation is where freedom starts to feel real. What's a muse idea you're curious about? Drop it in the comments, and let's move to Liberate, where you take your freedom to the next level. Part 4, Liberate, Work from Anywhere. Now we're at the final piece of the deal framework, Liberate. This is about turning your automated income into true freedom, location independence, time to pursue your passions, and a life designed on your terms. Whether you're an employee or an entrepreneur, Tim has strategies to make this happen. For employees, negotiating remote work. If you're in a traditional job, liberation starts with remote work. Tim's blueprint is practical. Prove your value. For a month, go above and beyond at work to show you're indispensable. Propose a trial. Ask for a 1-week remote work trial, citing increased productivity, e.g., fewer distractions. Back it up with data, like how you'll finish a project faster. Make it permanent. After a successful trial, request ongoing remote work, emphasizing benefits to your boss, e.g., lower office costs. Story: a friend, Tom, used this exact strategy. He tracked his output during a remote trial, showing he completed 20% more tasks without office interruptions. His boss agreed to permanent remote work, and now Tom lives in a coastal town, surfing between meetings. If remote work feels out of reach, start small, ask for 1 remote day a week and build from there. For entrepreneurs, geo-arbitrage and mini-retirements. If you've built a muse, you're free to live anywhere. This is where geo-arbitrage comes in: earn in a strong currency, like US dollars, and spend in a low-cost country. For example, $3,000 a month might feel tight in New York but lets you live like royalty in Chiang Mai, Thailand, where rent is $300 to $500. Your income stretches further, and your lifestyle feels richer. Real-world example: I read about a couple, Emily and Mark, who run an online tutoring business. They earn $5,000 a month and moved to Bali, where their expenses dropped to $1,500. They work 10 hours a week and spend the rest exploring, volunteering, and relaxing. Geo-arbitrage turned their modest income into a dream life. Then there's mini-retirements. Instead of saving adventures for retirement, take extended breaks every year or 2. Spend a month learning Spanish in Mexico, 3 months hiking in New Zealand, or 6 months writing a novel. These aren't vacations, they're intentional periods to grow, explore, or reset. Practical tip: plan your first mini-retirement. Save for 3 months of expenses, pick a destination, and book a one-way ticket. Tim suggests starting with a low-stakes trip, like a month in a nearby city, to test the waters. I tried a 2-week mini-retirement in a cabin to focus on writing, and it was life-changing. The new rich mindset. Liberation isn't just about location, it's about choice. The new rich ask, how can I maximize meaning, not, how can I work harder? Whether it's working from a beach or spending mornings with your kids, liberation means designing a life that reflects your values. Key takeaway: freedom is the ultimate goal, freedom to choose where you live, what you work on, and how you spend your time. Negotiate remote work, embrace geo-arbitrage, and take mini-retirements to live richly now. Liberate feels like the payoff for all this work. Where would you go if you could work from anywhere? Share your dream destination in the comments, and let's wrap up with the mindset that ties it all together. Part 5, Mindset, Embracing the Unconventional. We've covered the tactics of deal, but none of it works without the right mindset. This final section is about reprogramming your brain to embrace the unconventional and overcome the fears, doubts, and societal pressures holding you back. Tim's philosophy is that the biggest barriers to freedom aren't money or time, they're in your head. The New Rich Mindset. Here are the core beliefs of the New Rich. Busy isn't a badge of honor. If you're always slammed, you're not successful, you're poorly prioritized. Tim brags about having time to tango dance or learn Japanese, not about a packed calendar. Success doesn't require suffering, you don't need to grind yourself into exhaustion to win. A smart system beats brute force. Most limits are imagined, the rules about working 40 years or staying in one place. They're arbitrary. Question them. Challenge the status quo. Why wait for retirement? Why stay in a job you hate? Why not design your life now? Story: Tim himself lived this mindset. He took a year-long sabbatical to travel the world, checking email just once a week. Guess what? His business grew because he'd built systems, not a job. That's the power of thinking differently. I tried a smaller version, cutting my workweek to 30 hours by automating tasks, and my stress plummeted while my output stayed the same. Overcoming conformity. Society loves to keep us in line. Friends might call you crazy for quitting a stable job. Family might worry you're wasting your potential by taking a mini retirement. Tim says to ignore the noise. Most people are trapped by conformity, living lives they don't love because it's normal. The New Rich choose courage over comfort. Practical tip: find a community of like-minded people, online forums, local meetups, or podcasts like Tim's. Surrounding myself with entrepreneurs helped me stay motivated when I doubted my own path. Who in your life supports your big dreams? Lean on them. The power of questions. Tim's final mindset tool is asking better questions. Instead of, how do I make more money, ask, how can I need less? How can I create more time? What's the smallest step I can take today? For example, instead of aiming for $1 million, figure out what lifestyle you want, say, $3,000 a month to live comfortably in Portugal. Then build a muse to cover that. It's often easier than you think. Real-world example: I know a teacher, Rachel, who asked, what's the smallest step to more freedom? She started selling lesson plans online, earning $1,000 a month. That extra income let her cut her teaching hours and travel every summer. Small questions lead to big changes. Key takeaway: your mindset is the foundation of freedom. Reject busyness, question limits, and surround yourself with people who inspire you to live unconventionally. This mindset shift is everything. What's one rule you're ready to question? Drop it in the comments, and let's bring it all together in the conclusion. What an incredible journey through the 4-hour workweek. We've unpacked Tim Ferriss's deal framework: define, eliminate, automate, and liberate, plus the mindset to make it all possible. This book isn't just about working less, it's a manifesto for living more, on your terms, starting today. Let's recap the deal formula. Define: redefine success as freedom and excitement. Use fear setting to conquer doubts. Eliminate: cut the 80% of tasks and distractions that don't matter using the 80-20 rule and Parkinson's law. Automate: build a muse, a simple, scalable business, and delegate the rest. Liberate: embrace remote work, geo-arbitrage, and mini-retirements to live anywhere, anytime. So, let's make this personal. Ask yourself, what life are you postponing? Is it travel, a passion project, or time with family? What can you eliminate this week? Maybe it's endless emails or a draining commitment. What's one step toward a muse? Could you test an idea or hire a VA? Where would your first mini-retirement take you? Picture it vividly. This summary is just the beginning. If you're hungry for more, grab the full book. And if this video inspired you, please hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Your support keeps these summaries coming. Before we go, drop a comment with your biggest takeaway or the first step you're taking toward your 4-hour workweek. I'll be reading and cheering you on. Thank you for spending 2 hours with me. Until next time, live boldly, work smart, and design the life you love.